what's new detention? Jail, right? Anyone? You guys had any stints in in the penal colony? I had to. Yeah.
I mean, if you
was
really
going through a really bad time, got picked up in North Hollywood. But because I was acting a fool and talking a fool, they took me to that mental place instead of being arrested and going to jail, which I super appreciated.
Nice.
I don't think I could have survived a night in jail. Like, I'm just not that girl.
You could have.
Yeah, obviously I could have.
You could have and you would have.
Yeah, you could have. You would have.
I mean, I can tell this story on the pod. I got a DUI. I went to jail. Yeah, never came out. But yeah, I got a DUI and I went to jail.
When?
Dope.
I think I was 18 or 19.
I remember.
It was the Tuesday before Thanksgiving. I got pulled over for speeding.
Oh no!
Was it in your Scion?
Yeah. It's the only car I've ever owned. I'm driving it here, so it was in there. Yeah, this never came out, so enjoy, babies. Enjoy Ned heads. Enjoy my dirty little tail. No. Yeah, I got arrested. I was
real detention, adult detention.
Yeah, this was big boy detention. I was under the legal limit if you're 21, but I was 18. So you blow any, they're taking you in. So it was. This always happens. I hear from people. It was like a mile from my house, which is always when I was almost home. So yeah, I wasn't driving ridiculous, but I was over any amount. I think I was like 0.07, but any amount is a problem. They took me to downtown. Anytime I drive by this jail, they took me to sometimes they take you to like a local station. No, they took me to Twin Towers is what it's called. It's the jail downtown.
That's where Adam was.
Yo, what? I know. No, that is a place where both they have the drunk tank and the real people are there for 4 or 5 months, 6 months, couple years. Like it was pretty serious, man. Like that was quite the experience. I was down there in the drunk tank.
Did you cry?
I didn't cry, but I was just quiet and just like shocked. There was this moment when they were processing me. So the cops, I had the one cop who was like the young trainee who obviously had empathy and compassion for me, thank goodness. And then he was being trained by like this veteran, like hard ass, you gotta fuck with this kid. And I feel like if that veteran wasn't there, the guy might have let me off with a warning. There's different things that can happen when you're under the age limit. Sometimes they don't send you to jail. They give you the ticket. You're going to get in trouble for it, but they'll call someone to pick you up. They get to choose how this goes. But because that older cop was there, this guy took me downtown. They put me in the back seat with like a dude with like spider tattoos on his knees. Like I was locked in the back seat with like some dude.
You Uber pooled to jail?
Yeah, they Uber pooled me.
He's like, hey, we got another pickup.
Stop it! Stop.
Yeah, they Uber pooled me to jail.
How's that even like legal or safe?
Yeah, I was like a little boy.
Wait, were you handcuffed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
They handcuffed
think
you.
so. Yeah, and he was rough. Got put into this one. Before I got put into the tank, the young cop, the veteran had left. The young cop's processing all the paperwork and all the shit. I had a fake ID at the time.
Ooh.
And it was in a particular flap in my wallet. And I remember this moment, dude. I'm sitting there just quiet. No one's in the police station. Like he's doing paperwork. He's dealing with my things. I'm sitting there. He flips open the wallet and I see the extra flap like open up and I see him stop for a second. Realize what he just saw, which is like a second ID, and he already has my ID. And he double takes, he opens the flap, he sees the fake, he looks at me, and I just looked away, just with like horror in my eyes. And thank God, he just shook his head, didn't take the fake ID, he put it in the bag that I'm gonna get back when I get out. Like I got it back when I got out. That a fake ID can be a felony. Like it can be a much bigger charge than just like a DUI. So he took compassion on me. Thank God. He looked at me.
What an idiot. He at least should have cut it up.
That's what he could have done. But I think then he has to deal with, you know what I mean?
Right,
I think the smoothest thing was just like,
Turn your head away.
Yeah, and thank God, because that could have been a bigger thing. But yeah, so then they put me in like a group jail with adults, man. And there was one kind of like scary guy.
Wait, how old were you at the time?
Like 18, 19.
Oh, you're an adult.
I was an adult. But I looked 15. You know, I looked like a little baby boy. So then what happened, like it was hours, it was long, it was late at night. Then I got put into like the big drunk tank, and you're kind of just waiting to be processed and released. I guess there's a certain amount of hours when you have a DUI, they put you in the system. Eventually the system kicks you to the, hey, it's time for you to go. So you're just there waiting with no daylight, don't know what the fuck time it is, like disoriented, hard to sleep, obviously.
And you're waiting for an unspecified amount
of time. You don't know how long you're going to be in there. The phone system is absolute horseshit. It's so difficult, but eventually I called my sister. It's one number that I had, called my sister. Yeah. And of course it lets her know like jail is calling you. And so she like shit her pants and it says my name, like Devin. And I tell her,
would you like to accept the charge?
Yeah. This is a call from LA Correctional Facility. Devin, just a little sad voice. So it's like the middle of the night. It's like 5 a.m. She said like she's shitting her pants because I call her obviously to try and avoid my parents. But she said she didn't know what to do, so she has to wake up my mom. And they, on their end, they have to start dealing with how to get me out, getting me a lawyer, all this shit. I'm just in there. I don't know. The phone system, I could barely hear her. I didn't know what got through. So then I'm sitting there for an unspecified amount of time. It's pretty horrifying. But then there was also this moment where it was like a little bit like the Breakfast Club, where like everyone's still a little drunk. I kind of wasn't at that point, but like some people got arrested at like 1.4 blood alcohol, like or 0.14. Like they were still drunk, so there was kind of still a buzz in the air for a moment where like everyone's sharing kind of how they got pulled over, and it started to open up a little bit. All these like grown ass men. At a certain point, one of the dudes looked over at me and made a joke, which was so funny. He was like, "Man, look at how fuck old are you? Like, you look like you should be on the Disney Channel or something." And I was like,
The thing is,
Some of them were like in real trouble. Like one of the dudes was like, "This is my third strike. Like, he's going to go to jail for a while after this." One of the dudes was like, "I totaled my cousin's car." Like there was some shit, dude. So once the Breakfast Club thing opened up, like everyone wore off their buzz, and then it dipped.
To the hangovers?
Yes. Then it was just sad and quiet and like, and just time passing. And I'm sitting there processing like my whole life, you know, I don't know what's going to happen when I get out, my career, like what this means, what this looked like, my family, like all of this shit.
The mystery and uncertainty, I'm sure.
Dude,
that's what's
I
horrifying.
can't imagine each minute. Like,
and I would knock out for a little bit, like sleep for a little bit, and then you wake up and you don't know how long.
I want to wake up in my bed at home. Oh, God. We're still here.
And you wake up and you don't know how long you've been there.
How long I've been out.
And
that was a weird sound. I've never sounded like that. But yeah.
They were pulling people one by one to get processed, do their fingerprints. I like never got pulled, and it was weird. It had been a long time. It had been hours. And like it got weird. They start pulling people also to like leave. Like certain people get to leave. So I don't know. It was all weird. At a certain point, they called on me and they took me to the next place where you go to get let out, which is this hallway of rooms that everyone is in there who's in the queue to get out. So this is people who have been in there for months for different shit. Then I was in a room where I was like, oh, this just got more serious. Like, this isn't the drunk tank. Like, some of these dudes, like, it was not chill. And you know, I look like a little baby boy. At 18, I still look 15. Like, I'm a little...
They were on their best behavior, though. I'm sure they don't want to go back.
Yeah, no one's trying to go back. But it was like, holy shit. Like, I'm now here with, like, people who have been in here for months, maybe a year. Like, and now we're in this waiting space to get out. When I finally got out, there was a very famous celebrity lawyer there named Mark Garagos. Thank you, sir. Paid you a lot of money, but thank you, sir. Who had gotten me out. And he said, like, Devin, if I hadn't have called, he's like, I had to make them find you in the system. Something happened where they forgot to process me. So I wasn't even in the system. I wasn't in the queue to get out. And this was the Wednesday of Thanksgiving now. If he didn't get me out, that day, I would have been in there for days, dude. That was mind blowing. And so, yeah, he got me out. He drove me to his office, and then because it's Thanksgiving, my fucking grandmother picked me up. Like, my grandmother from Pennsylvania was in town. And, like, my grandmother picked me up from fucking jail. And honestly, that's what she was so sweet.
That's actually so
she was
beautiful.
Like, it's okay. She literally was like, it's
What a
okay,
treat.
Devin.
That is support.
She was a sweetie
support.
pie. My parents, not happy.
Right.
Not happy with
wanna
your
see
boy.
him.
Dude, yeah, that was a rough Thanksgiving.
Thanks, Devin. You ruined Thanksgiving.
Bro.
And that was one of the only Thanksgivings that I didn't come over.
Yeah, because we all,
we would always go to Devin's for Thanksgiving.
Yeah, you didn't come for that one, but we still had like 14 people. We still had friends and guests over. And they were just shitting on me the whole time.
Dang.
They were just shitting on me and getting drunk.
Well,
and I was just there being shamed, but rightfully so. Yeah. I mean, I fucked up. I have had a lot of blessings in my life, and this was like not honoring my parents. You know, this was not doing well. I got out of it clean. Yeah. I got out because of that lawyer. It never went on my record. I had to pay money, and I lost my license for a year, which was the punishment that kept on giving. At 18, 19, having my mom drive me to auditions again, have my girlfriend have to pick me up for dates. I can't drive. Molly, yeah. That was a rough year without the license, but it didn't go on my record. It never came out in the press. In hindsight, I kind of wish it did come out in the press. It might have changed my image. It might have made me cooler.
Oh,
you know, I needed a little edge. I was too nice.
I mean, I should have go to detention to get validation. People at home.
Whoa!
You don't have to be.
You don't have to be a bad guy to get validation. Although it probably would have helped my career. No, I'm just kidding. Kidding. No, it might have not. I'm
never too late to test it out. You know, you can always go back.